My grandmother was an American woman living in Russia at the time Joseph Stalin had taken over after the power struggle following Vladimir Lenin's death. When Joseph, Man of Steel, came to power, she attempted to flee the country, but the love for her kids she taught, she was a teacher, kept her. Eventually, some of the kids started disappearing, and she realized they were leaving the country. She began to pack her things and head for the train that led into Europe. She boarded it. She saw many other passengers. Some were full with joy of leaving. Others had no emotion. After the train pulled out of the station, several passengers stood up and took out their standard Russian gun, the M14. A Russian commander also entered. He pointed at a young man who was shot on the spot. He pointed to another mother and her child. The mother was stabbed and the baby thrown off the train. Some passengers began to run, whom were mostly shot. My grandmother hid under a table and waited for the man to pass. As the Russian soldier passed, a pair of boots stopped. She looked up to see a young man staring at her. When she thought he would shoot her in the head and end her life, he walked off to his fellow soldiers. As she sighed in relief and got off the train into the Polish station, as she got off the train, she noticed she was the only one off, and then she saw it, a pair of eyes staring at her through the train. She didn't know why, but she began to run. She heard guns go off behind her and was almost killed. If it wasn't for the Polish officer who returned fire, she would have been killed. As she thanked the Pole, she realized he was the same man from the train. Questioning this, he told her he had an identical twin brother who left for Russia to become a baker. He also told her they were sympathizers for foreigners in communist states. As my grandmother continued to live in Poland, she woke up to machine gun fire one day in 1939. As she kept up with the news, she realized Germany had invaded Poland. Her reaction was to quickly leave, this time, and flew to the neutral country of Greece. As she lived in Greece for a year, the Italian invasion dragged the Greeks into the hell of war, as she called it. As her door was broken down by Greek soldiers, she was ordered to come with him. As he turned left and right, she saw the Italians being slaughtered. The Italians had poor equipment, poor tactics, and poor morale, while the Greeks had a high of all these things. She tells me every time I ask. As she was put in the civilian center, she could still hear the fighting going on. Flash forward 4 years. She had survived the occupation of Greece and had helped the Red Cross bring food to the starving Greeks and aid for the wounded residents. As the war ended with Hitler's supposed suicide, she moved back to the US. Flash forward 50 years. She was in New Jersey, her home state, when she spotted 3 immigrants, a Pole, Russian, and Greek. To this day, she swears that these 3 were the Russian soldiers who kept her secret, the Polish officer whom helped her, and the Greek officer who escorted her to safety. Hey guys, thanks for listening to today's Creepypasta, and I hope you enjoyed. This one was based off of real events, so if you have any information on the events described in this story, put them in the comments below. Help educate me, because I'm not too, sure on these events. Like, I knew Stalin was a bad dude and the USSR wasn't that good of a place, so I'll leave it in the comments below. Also, if you like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. The links to the Facebook page, the Twitter, and the Instagram will be in the description below, so go follow all of those. Also, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell notification so you stay updated on all the videos I upload. I upload 6 days a week, Monday to Saturday. This creepypasta was also suggested to me by a viewer, Stone Cold Parkins. So if you have a video you'd like me to narrate, send it to one of my DMs in the social medias or my email address, is in the description below, or leave it in the comments. Do your thing. So yeah, when you hit the bell notifications, select all to stay tuned for all the videos. Also, the link for today's creepypasta and the music used will be in the description below, so go check those out. But yeah, until next time in the Deadly Zone, stay deadly and stay spooky.